Okay, let me switch to the camera, and I hope we are live now. So this is the first live stream, let's see, on my new MacBook Pro M1 Pro. And Jeff, thank you for coming live here to give me some moral support for my first live stream in, like, I don't know, 1.5 years, and the first stream on this new computer, this new hardware and everything. Welcome everyone. If you are here, there might be some potential issues with the audio, video, whatever, and I hope you will bear with me as I try to solve them, and unless I can, I will try to improve it for the next stream. So one issue that I experienced right away is, let's see. Okay, so the YouTube dashboard is warning me that the stream current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. I just set it at 9,000 and apparently it doesn't upload as fast, even though I'm on a 100 megabit line. So not sure about that. But the issue I'm talking about is I only have 2 external monitors for my MacBook Pro, so I can only have 2 monitors active at the same time. That was a disadvantage of the M1 Pro instead of the Max. So perhaps I should have gone with the Max version. So the issue is I want to have logic on this screen, which I can show you if that takes us to the issue. So this screen here. This is the screen, that my main screen that is going live now. And on my left screen here, this is the issue. I have to like swivel around with the tabs here because I need to have the live streaming software. I'm not using OBS, but it's similar. And I need to change to the web browser to watch the live streaming YouTube Studio dashboard, because I need to see you guys here in the chat and if the stream works and so on. So in the best of worlds, I would have liked the ability to use 3 monitors, to be honest, because I want to see the chatter, but I also need to go to the Wirecast, the live streaming dashboard. Okay, so let's try things out. I have no idea. Oh yeah, and I also have the ATEM switching dashboard, which is the the live streaming hardware I use to connect all HDMI sources. So I can see the audio output going out, like the average audio level, and I can let's see, in the Wirecast dashboard. So now, I should probably just use my iPad or something to watch the chat, now that I think about it. I don't even know how do I access my own live chat on the iPad or any other, mobile device. So what I have here is I have 5 different layers in the live streaming dashboard. The first layer, I have this text that I can change during the stream if I want to. I just put the title there. Then I have the various screens. So I have this pause screen or break screen, the starting screen with just a picture and this text in the middle. Then I have the full screen on the main monitor. Then I have this camera here, full screen, full HD, Sony a6400 camera. Then when I use my hardware, live streaming hardware, ATEM Mini it's called, I can switch the camera over to HDMI 1 source, which is the camera here, which I use for my recorded video setup, because this is like on a full rig. I have the background video set up over there. I can also put more HDMI sources into that. Then, let's see, now I will go back to the web browser so I can see the chat. What I have over here is an analog mixing console. So this was another issue I had to sort out, because I really like Mac and I like Mac OS and Logic, but sometimes Apple can be pretty pretty annoying, because what they did in their new Macs is that they forced no apps can grab the core system audio. And this is new. This is from all new Macs, that security chip or something. So I cannot let OBS or any recording software access the system audio, what is going out to your audio interface, without having to use an intermediary driver. I cannot use my audio interface core audio driver. But I want to, because I want to have that low latency. So what I did is I routed with actual cables, because Apple cannot stop me from routing analog cables, out from that to a splitter, my monitor switcher, which I actually send out to my analog mixing console over there. From that mixing console, I then feed out the audio to both my headphones, so I can actually hear myself, the microphone, plus the computer audio. That is an advantage, I guess. Then the cable goes behind the computer and over there where my hardware live switcher is. And then I treat it with a slight compression and EQ for what goes out to you guys on the stream. So that is a pretty convoluted setup that I need to use, because Apple restricted completely the access to the system audio going out. You cannot record it. If you can with an intermediary driver, but that adds like 20 millisecond latency, which makes this pretty much impossible to do. I want to be able to play with low latencyy, because I get so mad if I hear any latencyy. So I want to have it at the minimum setting. Okay, so let me greet you guys. Frederick, welcome. A long time since I had one of these live streams. Pulse Obsidian, how much RAM does your M1 have? So I went with the base version of the M1 Pro. So the actually binned version, which is 8 CPU cores, and only the what is it, like 512 gigabyte SSD. That's the base. But I opted to upgrade the RAM to 32 gigabytes. The reason I did not went with the max version is because I needed a laptop. I haven't had a laptop for years. I wanted a laptop, but I already know in my heart that sometime in the future I will want to upgrade to the Mac Pro Apple Silicon. So the Mac Pro M1 Extreme or whatever that will be called, because I'm a studio caveman, so to speak. I live practically in this tiny room. So when I work in a studio, I prefer a desktop, massive monster computer with everything. So that's why I did not go with a max version. I went with a base version and just upgraded the RAM, because that will let me, use this for perhaps a year or perhaps 2 or somewhere until I'm ready to invest in that monster Mac Pro. Let's see, Media Man Productions. I'm not sure how you do scenes. Set up scenes. You can keep one screen for your app and one for your stream. I guess also I can use like multi. Let's see, how do you do that? I never used that, because I'm so used to working with multiple screens, so I have never really used that monitor split, display split function, which, let's see, I think you just hold your mouse. I have to look that up, how you like split screen, so I get 3 monitors by splitting the left one into 2. Okay, so the reason for this stream today, it's not going to be a creative or really interesting stream for you guys, so I understand if you just bail, but I appreciate if you stay, just hang out, chat, ask me any questions about the new MacBook Pro or Logic, whatever. But I want to really test the stream, the audio, the video quality. So what I'm doing now, I'm streaming QHD, not because that's my native resolution, which is like 2560 times 1440. So can you tell me, does the screen look good? Now I need to switch back again. If I just do like this, Can you see me picture over picture here? And is it pretty clear in the interface? Let's see, where did you guys go? Split screen. And you know, does it work on YouTube correctly? Excellent connection, it says now, because I'm streaming that QHD resolution, so you can see everything clearly, hopefully. And also I want to test so that the audio levels, because the thing is, I don't want to stream too loud, because I don't want to approach clipping or the red zone. But when you play a softer instrument, like a piano, at soft settings, soft dynamics, it will be soft, because I want to be able to, you know, hammer hard or play the full project eventually when I start to do these live streams where I make music or try plugins and sample libraries. So bear with me. I'm just going to check. It's going to be loud because this is a fully mastered track. I'm going to push play. Turn down the volume if you want to. I just want to check that I could still talk with the microphone over a full project working, and that the audio balance is pretty okay. So here is the track, fully mastered. So this is the loudest you will hear. So it's in the red zone, but it's peaking like -8 decibel. -6 or something. I don't really want to go much louder than that, because it could be even louder peaks. I don't know, if I hit the cymbal crash or big massive drum or something in a project. David Michael Torrey, it's been a while since we chatted. I hope you're all right, and that things are going fine for you with your composing career. Yeah, thank you. I'm actually really pleased with the M1 so far. This is the M1 Pro, so it's gone a year since the M1 introduction with the M1 Air, you know, back in 2020. But to be honest, there are still some issues. For one thing, a couple of apps or plugins have not been updated at all. Like, I don't think I can run Contact for some reason, but it's not updated, I think, to M1 natively. Volume level sounded good to me. Cool, good to hear. Your voice feels loud. Okay, so that's a good thing about having an analog mixing console, because I can actually just grab this fader here, over here on the mixing console, and just reduce my voice a bit. -5 dB, how's that? Is it like better? What do you guys think? So if I now play at maximum volume, the fully mastered track, and then I start to talk, is my voice good, balanced in comparison to when I play live here and when I played that final project? Welcome Daniel Hawk, Music Productions. Yeah, good. So things with the audio seems to be fine. For the next time, I really want to solve that, you know, the multiple stream setup, so I don't have to. Is anyone on a Mac who knows how to just split screen, so I can test it now? I mean, I want to split my left monitor here, display, into 2, so I can have the live streaming software and the YouTube chat open at the same time. Because I had really never done that, because I have 2 screens, so I just... But when you stream live, you need lots of screen estate. So Sound Toys, I cannot get to work at all. I have the complete Sound Toys bundle. I mean, let me show you, in fact. So if you just go into the plugin manager and just check things here. I don't know if you can see this small, because I'm streaming at, you know, the native resolution 2560 x 1440. So the text is pretty minimal. I'm actually glad that I did not buy a 4K monitor. I don't know how people... I mean, I still have pretty good eyesight, but I think this text is small on this QHD resolution. On a 4K, I mean, I cannot reach the monitor with my hand so it's like almost a meter from the screen because I need my keyboard set up. So if I had went with 4K or 5K, whoops, power saving mode, I don't think I would have been able to read the text. So on Windows, still looking for the best setting for broadcasting. So do you have, Daniel, do you have a multiple monitor set up as well? And what do you mean by good best settings? You know, settings on OBS or the broadcasting software, or like your setup? Because I think I'm happy with the broadcasting software. I'm using Wirecast, which is basically like OBS, but I paid for it a couple of years ago, so I still like to use it. I like it. Yeah, so as you can see, successfully validated, and you can see, I think here, can you see which one is native? I'm not sure. How many of you are in Logic, by the way? 4K. How do you see the text, Daniel, on a 4K monitor? Or perhaps you are closer than I am with your eyes from the screen. So you can see successfully validated. Where is it? Here, could not be opened. So all the sound toys plug in. Here, Decapitator. I need them. Why? Why can't I use them? And if you check like on the internet, they say they are planning to have an M1 Apple Silicon version early 2022. So I'm actually glad that I waited for such a long time before I got this M1 Pro, because there are still issues with some plugins. So SoundToys plugins, a couple of other ones. I think my old D16 plugins are not working either. So D16 group, like, you know, they have Phocion, Lush, something, synthesizers. Hover over the green full screen button on the browser and you'll get a drop down menu. Hover over tile window to the left, tile to the right. What happens? And then, oh, thank you, Jeff. I think I worked it out now. So I need to start with that next time. Then so I actually get 3 monitors. Use the upscaled version. So you have like a zooming. What do you mean by upscaled version? Okay, so in the meantime, I just want to try some plugins and see how they are working with the setup. And by the way, if I get any drop frames or any issues with the audio, with the video, please write it in the comment so I can try to, sort things out and see what's wrong so I can fix it for the next stream. Hopefully the next stream will be more fun because this is just live streaming setup test with a new computer. Of course, the Logic plugins like Alchemy and such is already working. I want to test, let's see, all the Spectrasonic ones, Keyscape, Omnisphere, Stylus, RMX, and Trillion. My favorite bundle of all. I love Spectrasonic software plugins. They are all M1 natively, so I can just, start Omnisphere, and it's done, and you get this crazy bad patch to start with. Let's use some. I don't want to autoplay, no. Yeah, let's test some bass. So I have a bass patch. Can you hear the bass? I can hear it in my headphones pretty clearly. Whoa, that was loud. So the Omnisphere one is working. Daniel still on FL Studio, but I'm on FL Studio. Use the upscale version. Okay. I never used FL Studio. I actually was on Cubase for 8 years before I found Logic and fell in love with it, switched to Mac, fell in love with Mac OS, the operating system. Not so much a fan of Apple, but I like their OS and I like their apps and software. It costs pretty penny, but I have had no issues in 7 years on that old, I don't know if you can see, iMac, or 8 years almost. Whereas I had so much issues with Cubase back in the days and ACO drivers and such. Hello from India, Sri Taran, and welcome to the stream. This is a live streaming test, so just let me know if there are any issues. Let's see some of the audio effects. So, I mean, by the way, a tip I have for you is, if you are using Logic, use the plugin manager and make your own categories and sort things here. So just, you know, click the plus sign, add a category. I have added a favorite effects folder so I can quickly get my favorite effects. Instruments as well. I have added in the dynamic section my favorite compressors like supercharger, for example, saturation. Here, I mean, I will put the sound choice plugin here in as well as soon as they actually work. As far as sample libraries, I mean, I think pretty much, I mean, I have the BBC Symphony Orchestra. That works. Let's see if I can actually play with the dynamics and such. Love the sound of the strings in BBC Symphony Orchestra. Let's see, Tim, welcome. Still use a 2011 iMac with Logic Pro. There we have it. I mean, you can complain about the prices. I mean, everyone does, but you pay for less headaches, basically. That's what, at least was my experience. Perhaps not everyone. All right, so, and then if we try out Contact, so I have both Contact 5 plus the new Contact 6. What is this? Hosting compatibility service, Logic Pro. I have no idea why it wants me to do that. Perhaps I upgraded it or something. So here I have some of my sample libraries, and I think I haven't found any sample library that's not working. I mean, let's just put in. I haven't actually connected my sustain pedal down there yet. I need to find a good cable for it, because it's like I've had 3 sustain pedals that like was so frustrating. You know, they got stuck in the down stage, so I continued to play, and it's just like the sustain pedal was always on. It was crazy. Threw it away, bought another one, threw it away, and bought another one, and this time, the 4th time, I actually bought. It's not a sustain pedal. Let me actually show you. It looks like this. It's a Boss pedal switch, like it's just on and off. It's no slack. And then it has actually a cable here, or connection. You put a tele cable. Is that the word in English? It's a word in Swedish at least. Telekabel. And it's built like a tank. I read some reviews. People had this live for 15 years. But I don't have any such cable left. I'm using everything now with my mixing console. So I don't have a sustain pedal. Pretty annoying when you play piano without a sustain pedal. David Olofsson, hello, another Swedish person. So you understand the telekabel in Swedish. What's that name in English? That's a cable I need. Instrument cable, I guess, because it's like what you connect guitars and stuff with. Hello, Michael. That studio is looking very nice, and how I wish I could afford an M1. We'll leave it up to all the hype. Cheers from England. Phil, yeah, welcome to the stream, and thank you so much. I'm super happy. Some issues, of course. I've had some issues with, because now when I'm using an external or a laptop, since I want dual screens and all this other types of stuff, all my USB stuff, I have 3 USB hubs. That's how much stuff I got connected. So, I have to use a docking station. That's the first for me. I actually bought the most expensive one because I hate things are like that. If the docking station fails, everything fails because all these USB hubs are connected to it. So I bought the newest one, the OWC Thunderbolt 4 docking station with like a 100 watt charging brick, 3 extra Thunderbolt 4 ports on top of that, USB-C 3.2, 3 of those. An Ethernet connection. That's one thing I was annoyed about. They don't have an Ethernet connection on the Apple M1 Pro. I mean, I can see that they could not fit it on this chassis. The M1 Pro is pretty thin, but the iMac, the smaller iMac that came out like in this spring, that one had a really cool thing where the charging brick, the adapter, had the Ethernet on it. Why not have that on a MacBook Pro? Why the iMac small version, which is not even a Pro version, has that Ethernet? So I had to have a docking station with that Ethernet connection because I am one of those people who never uses wireless unless I can stop it, unless I need to. Because I have had so many issues over the years with wireless. And by the way, I was a network engineering major in university, so I know how this works. It's just that wireless sucks. The wireless router is out there in the living room. It gets issues with connection, dropouts, and you never get the same kind of speed. So that's why I want cables. Let's see, David. Yeah, can I just increase the size of the chat? Because on this, I'm not sure how to do that. I just have to zoom into the entire Chrome window. Or Safari, actually. I'm actually using Safari. I have been a fan of Google Chrome, every Google service, Google Mail, Gmail, Google Calendar, Google Drive. I love the Google range of products, but for some reason, Google Chrome crashes like every single day on the M1 Pro. I don't know if it's like the M1 Apple Silicon, some kind of compatibility issue with Chrome there, or if it's just me having bad luck here. But I can barely run Google Chrome on this computer because it crashes, unexpectedly shut down. Let's see, David. I think the TRS connector, 1/4 inch TRS. Yeah, so I need a couple of those actually because I'm going to get a couple of instruments connected. I don't know if you can see back there, no, probably not. I have the Bouzouki, which has a tele or TRS connector because it has an onboard microphone. I have this hybrid bowed string instrument. I want to connect that too and connect it on my mixing console here. I cannot do it now because I don't have it. I need another one for my future. I don't have it yet, but I will get an electric guitar. That will be my first big purchase in 2022. By the way, talking about gear, what did you guys get for Black Friday or perhaps Christmas gifts that you bought for yourself already? Because we do such things as studio cavemen, as I call myself, studio nerds. Any cool stuff? I got, of course, all this stuff. I got the MacBook Pro, the docking station, an M2 external SSD. I'm pretty satisfied with it. That's, by the way, what I have all my samples on. Let's see if I can check it out here. M2. It's 2 terabytes. And I have all my sample libraries from Contact, the Spitfire Audio. Where did you guys go? There. And everything. I will have all my samples on that. Oh yeah, by the way, I have actually formatted. I did a big cleanup of folders and files and threw lots of stuff away because I wanted to have a clean start for this new studio setup. Welcome, Everett. Nice to see you here. So I had two external SSDs. The SATA, how do you pronounce SATA? SATA connector, not the M2 NVMe. Two of those, 1 terabyte and another 2 terabyte. The 1 terabyte I will use as my music drive, meaning all my projects, basically all my Logic projects. Basically all my music there. And on the other 2 terabyte I will use for all my video stuff. So YouTube, live streams like this, future courses, everything video. Because I know you can partition drives and do folder structures. I am a fan of organizing things very distinct, almost like having different rooms in a house for different purposes. That's how pedantic I am with organization. Let's see. So I'm actually going to tell you what I'm going to invest in 2022. I want to hear from you. What did you guys buy for Black Friday or for Christmas? Any new stuff going on in your music studio? Anyone else got perhaps the Apple MacBook Pro, the new M1 chip, or plan to? So in 2022, the first big purchase I will make is actually a Swedish guitar brand, a Swedish electric guitar called Baggström guitars. I found this black, beautiful, dual humbucker, very nice guitar. Not super high end, but not low end. I had a low end, cheap copy of a Strat, which was so bad. It sounded bad. It started to fail with the connection. The TRS connector actually started to wiggle and get disconnected all the time inside. So I just gave it away. And now I'm going to get a real electric guitar, and it's called, let's see if I can find it at the same time. I don't want to start Chrome. Chrome makes my computer blow up. Snap, bro, crashes for me too. I think it's more to do with the operating system. Oh, really? I don't know if that's good or bad, Jeff. If Chrome actually, because you are not on an M1 Mac, you are on the top end iMac, but it's not an M1 Apple Silicon chip. It's actually Intel. Is it i9, Jeff? But then my question to you is, what is your operating system? Because I have upgraded, or I didn't upgrade. I got the new, not Maverick. What's it called now? Monterey. Mac OS Monterey. So I just got the latest, because I bought a new computer and it's already pre-installed. I don't see any big improvements with the operating system, the upgrade, really. I mean, it's Mac OS, it works. I went from my iMac with Mojave before Catalina. So I'm going up one Catalina. Where was it? Big Sur. 3 operating system versions up, and I don't. It's the same for me. A couple of visual upgrades, but Mac OS has always been super stable for me, and it looks clean. I would like a darker version of Logic actually. If I had a wish for the Apple team regarding design, a big design upgrade for Logic would be greatly appreciated, especially giving me the option to change the graphical interface, do some custom settings. More colors for the color. I mean, the color picker here. Let's see if you can you see this here? I want more colors, please. And I want to have a bit of a darker background. I like working in dark mode. I go dark mode in every app that has dark mode. Welcome, Christian. Stream works. Anyone have any issues with the actual stream speed or connection? I'm not sure how this works. I streamed a couple of years ago on Twitch, but now I'm streaming to YouTube because I'm a YouTuber anyway, and I'm choosing to stream with quite a high bitrate and high resolution, QHD, so 2560 1440 with 9000 kilobits per second. I'm hoping that people that are on like mobile, iPad, wireless, that it like scales it down so you can see it without any interruptions. I hate buffering. Buffering videos is the worst. So if anyone have any issues with that and you don't think it's your connection, that it's YouTube, let me know in the chat. Let's see. KJ Jones. Yeah, UGM's virtual drummer deep. Oh, cool. Are you on Logic? Because I mean, you know, there is a virtual drummer in Logic which is actually very, very good, and you can use it. I mean, if you just add the drummer track here, you can actually use this, drag it over like so, and it gets to MIDI. So you can use it to trigger, even though it's acoustic drums here, you can use it to trigger an EDM electronic drum kit. I love using the drummer for such things, even orchestral stuff. Let's see, Mr. B. I've seen Logic with the darker color version used. Really? Because I'm on the latest OS and I haven't found any. Let's see, general settings, preferences. I haven't seen any new upgrades. I mean, in Logic, I have the latest Logic 10.7 whatever. Because I would have loved to change the design a bit to darker setting. I like the dial down. I like the grayscale. I don't like interfaces that have lots of colors. The only colors I want to have really is on the clips themselves and the tracks, not on the interface. That should be scaled down and not grab my attention. Just my preferences. And regarding preferences, for those of you who use Logic, how the heck do I get my Logic general preferences, unless have I just missed something really simple? I want to import my general preferences, not the project preferences, the general preferences that I set up on my iMac, Logic there, to here, to my new computer. I might have missed something really, really simple. I mean, that should be on the either this startup action default template. Let's see. Jeff, did you do that? Did you import your? I managed to import all my key commands. So you can go to key commands, everything here. So I have my key command preset, Logic Pro key commands. I created it myself. All my custom key commands. Then you can, as you can see here, save as. So I did that on my iMac, and then I imported my key commands. There seem to be some conflicts with my key commands, probably because I upgraded Logic now, and Logic wants to use all of these as the default for some custom action. Whereas I need to sort those out eventually. But I managed to import those. The project settings are, of course, saved with each project. But what about the general settings? So that is another little issue that I had. It was a big headache to, install everything in native access, all the contact libraries, authorize those, everything like that. Every single plugin. Oh man. That is why I would have loved, I guess that's a good thing about iLock, because when you have to go in every single plugin effect and do this authorization, find the serial number, which is buried in some old email somewhere, and I haven't touched it since I installed it for years, and dig all those up, and then installed one by one. That was a headache too. But so far, Logic has not acted any strangely. It works. It's responsive and snappy. Right now I'm using 256. I will try to increase. Let me actually test. The one thing that uses the most CPU right now is actually the live streaming software. This Wirecast, older version of Wirecast, which is not optimized for M1, but it's actually optimized for Intel still. Could be that. It uses right now 37% of my CPU power just streaming. That's only the stream. Without me doing basically anything here. Let's see, medium operation. Next time change to 30 FPS. That's the standard. Okay, am I streaming in any other FPS now? I have no idea how to set that up. I need to check my broadcast software. David, yeah, I got that. I think the stream failed. All right, let me just check things. What's going on here? What's actually going on? Can you guys still hear me? Stream down, back up now. Okay, Jones, yeah. Okay, so that happened once before today while I was testing, and let me know if you have any this issue yourself. It could be my broadcasting software that's out of date and uncompatible, or it can be my docking station. What happened is that everything froze. I could not move my mouse. It dropped all the drives, external drives. It was basically like the docking station froze or something, and everything, of course, stopped working. Everything, and then it took like 10 seconds, and it started everything up. But now it seems that the audio is gone from Logic. Okay, so this will be a big issue. Can hear you, but no image. Okay. Can you... Testing. 1, 2. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2. Hello? 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 Sound! Okay. Now I think we are on to the issue. Oh, apparently this big freezing stuff that went on where the stream stopped momentarily, it cut off everything on USB. Everything on USB. All my drives turned down and I rebooted. And since my mixing console is on USB, it actually, stopped. I turned it off and on again with the power and it didn't work. I had to actually remove the USB cable and push it in again, and then, the driver or something restarted. But this will be a big issue. Why did everything freeze and, cut everything on USB? Could it be the docking station, which is best in class? I don't believe so. It's like the most expensive, the best of the best, the newest Thunderbolt 4. Or could it be that I have simply too much on USB? I have so many USB hubs. But the USB hubs are on external power, so that should not be a problem. Can you hear the audio from... I don't know. I cannot hear the audio from... Do I need to restart interface or something? Why can I hear... I mean, I can literally see the audio master output in Logic. I guess, and this is just a thing here now, that if I just remove the USB from the audio interface and push it in again to the connection, like so, it will restart the USB driver. And why the hell... Whoops, can I swear on stream? Yes, I can. Why the hell does Logic ask for this? Anyone on Logic on the new OS or anything have seen this screen? AU hosting compatibility service Logic Pro wants to make changes. Why does it ask that all the time? I'm getting annoyed. Just give it permission already. Up like I suspected. Now I can hear at least in my headphones, and it looks like it goes out on stream. Okay, so David, USB, you know the frustrations. I mean, everything is on USB. The drives, so I don't, when I get an actual desktop, I will not use external drives, I think. In fact, I hate everything external, if I can avoid it, but I have a laptop now, so I need external stuff. So you can hear the piano, you can hear me, and apparently everything works smoothly, good connection, good audio, good balance of audio. You can hear me well, you can see me well, I can switch. But what can I do about this, what just happened 20 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago where the stream stopped, everything froze? Could that be the broadcasting software or any piece of software that does that? Or could it be a USB device issue, USB hub issue? Oh man. So, let's see, David, you have UFX Plus, but that is also USB, right? Let's see, on a dedicated USB 3... Oh yeah, you can have an actual PCI Express. Is that what you mean? Card? Since you have a desktop, a real desktop. So that what annoys me most about Apple right now is that as a power user, everyone seems to want a laptop. I bought a laptop as an intermediary because I want a big desktop powerhouse, a monster computer. But I want the Mac OS, I want the native M1 chip. And right now, Apple does not give that option. They only have that old Mac Pro with the Intel CPUs, which I definitely not want now. Let's see. Daniel Hawk, you have a big fat Windows-based workstation with 11 terabytes drives, all internal. That's what I want, but of course on Mac, but I want internal M2 SSDs. Because I think some of the issue here is, let's say Media Man Productions, software issue, try OBS. It's changed a lot since you last tried it. I might do that. Especially if this issue, if it is the software, I mean, I need to either upgrade it, which I might, I don't know, or try OBS. I guess it looks pretty much the same. I'm just guessing. Let's see, watching you use a West Virginia on Android. Good picture. Can hear the back of your throat in the vocal from music. Loud. I'm hoping that is a good thing. I'm fairly close. I cannot reach with my thumb and pointer finger, so it's like 15 centimeters or so, I guess, because I don't have a pop shield or pop screen yet on this microphone. But let's see, David, there are 2 other USB root hubs on this motherboard. Yep, okay. PCI Express USB cards. I'm guessing that USB is much better. Adding USB with PCI Express cards must be so much better than USB hubs, which I use. And why? Why are all USB hubs crap? China crap. I don't know. It's cheap stuff. There are literally no good high quality USB hubs. There are Thunderbolt docks like this one I have here, but there I haven't found. I have like some cheap Del Taco. I don't know if that's it, like OEM serial number. Solid stream, good to know, Wesley. Where were you? You say, how is the latency? How do I check the latency on a live stream? What's the best? Now my mind is blank. How do I test the latency from, for example, if I clap my hands, but you will of course see the clapping in sync. I guess I need to, if someone writes a comment there, because that's super live, like right now for me, and I start to read that comment, then you will get a latency delay from when I see the screen and starts to read it until you see the video. Ask a question and see how long we take to answer. I read it instantly. How long, Kate, was it since you wrote it until you heard me repeat your question? Countdown. I mean, I need to connect it to the chat. Oh, I'm such a noob on all of this. I am sorry, guys. I truly am. This is my first live stream in like 1.5 years, and my first live stream on this new setup. And I was never good at it to begin with, so I really need about 15 seconds. I really need to do more live streams and hopefully get past all these frustrations and my confusion and headaches from, trying to picture everything clearly from a bird's eye perspective. Whoa, so I have Logic over here, main screen. I can switch to the main screen. I can switch to the main camera. I can switch to myself looking at the camera in a picture because I need to go to the bathroom or something. I can switch to this picture-in-picture. I can, let's see, I can... Should I have another audio setup? Is this the best audio setup I could have right now? The upside of this setup that I'm using now is that I'm actually listening to my mixing console, so I hear myself, the microphone, and this Logic or whatever I play on the computer at the same audio level as you guys. I hear the balance. That's the upside. That's the main upside. You can, let's say, DGA, you can open the stream in another window and watch the delay in the audience perspective. Good point. So I could open it up on my iPad. That takes me to another question, another noob streamer question. How do I quickly find my own stream and most importantly the chat for it on the iPad or mobile phone? Because now I have the YouTube live streaming software here on the second monitor. But I mean, it would be better, I guess, to have it on the iPad, because then I see it from your perspective, as you say, the live stream. Now I'm just seeing the broadcasting software, which is of course in sync, practically in sync completely with me here in real time. Media Man Productions, try the Anchor USB hub of Amazon. Could look that up. I'm just thinking if it could be an issue that... So let me just explain my setup with the Mac M1 Pro. Here it is to the side. The lid is not open because I want to use two external monitors, and I cannot have that when I have this connected. At least I haven't found the way. So I need, of course, a docking station. So from that, a Thunderbolt 4 cable goes to a Thunderbolt 4, absolute newest Thunderbolt version, docking station. Really high-end one from OWC. I don't know the name of the brand, of the model, but it's OWC Thunderbolt 4 docking station. Search for it and you will find it. Okay, so let's see what else. Then I have some USB 3.2 outputs with USB-C connection. Oh, this USB stuff is driving me mad. There's USB-C connection, but on that connection it could be USB 2.0, 3.0, 3.1, 3.2, and you have practically no idea of the speed of these things. But the thing is here, so I have this Thunderbolt 4 docking station, but then I have so much USB stuff that the three USB 3 connections on the docking stations, plus I have 3 Thunderbolt connections, are not nearly enough. So what I need to do is on those USB 3.2 connections add like a daisy chain with, so the docking station is my fist here, and then from that USB 3.2 goes out to one USB hub over here with its own independent power supply. Another USB 3.2 goes out to a second USB 3.0 hub, and a third goes out. What I'm asking is, okay, so Jeff, you thought that the freezing stuff and that was the software, the broadcasting software, like some bug. But could it be that I have this daisy chain on the Thunderbolt docking station? Could that potentially be the issue? Because if it is, I don't know how to solve it, because what I would need then is like a Thunderbolt USB hub with 25 USB connections or something, because that's, I know, or 15 at least. I use a lot, like a 7 there, 7 over there, 4 over there. Count it up. I use every port. I believe if you go to your own YouTube channel, you should see your live video. Yeah, I could do that. In fact, let me just try it out. So thank you for the suggestions. I love to get some tips as a noob streamer. Yes, I am a noob streamer, and I have no issues confessing to that. We are all beginners at some point, but at least I got things working pretty okay, except this freezing issue that some of you guys that came in late here, Wesley for example, you might have missed that out. It completely froze everything, and I'm trying to figure out why it was, so I don't get into that issue next time. Okay, the issue with wireless, because the wireless router is all over there on the other side of the apartment, and of course, I guess I'm using a lot of bandwidth now streaming, but it is YouTube trying to load. The Wi-Fi sucks. I hate Wi-Fi. There, I said it. I give up. it loads some time in the future. I could probably just load up here on my actual monitor YouTube. Let's see if I can see my stream here. Oh, it's not even signed in. Why is that? I have no idea. There. Okay, so it's actually recommending it to me in. Whoops. Sorry. I actually started the stream. So now you heard the delay, by the way, because of course it's got audio here. So I cannot check it on the computer because then you hear the audio going out from the stream, and that will be a mess with the audio going round and round. Feedback, I guess it's called. Oh, let's see. Instrumental music. All this new technology. I'm still using 2011 iMac 27-inch. Was that the first iMac of the new design, the same design that I have? That I don't think you see, but perhaps you have seen it in my older videos. I think 2011 was the big redesign of the iMac. And if you are planning on upgrading, I heard rumors that they are in the next year, 2022, will do the biggest redesign of the iMac since 2011. And that could be a great point to upgrade the computer, I guess. Daniel Hawk, this is interesting. I have you on my PC and cell phone, but 3-second lag on my PC. 3-second lag on my PC. That is actually... I use the low latency mode in YouTube dashboard. And if it's 3 seconds... Kate, you said 15-ish seconds. I mean... 3 seconds is pretty good. What's the lag on your cell phone, Daniel? Because I guess it's more, or is it? It could be like a wireless thing there as well. So I think for the next time, I want to actually write to the support for the Wirecast app that I use, the broadcasting software, and ask them if it could potentially be the issue with their software that made my computer freeze and all this stuff happen. But if it is, and if they cannot solve it, I might go for OBS. I have never used OBS. It looked like crap when I tried it like 6 years ago. That's why I got Wirecast, and I upgraded it one time 2 years ago, I think. I like it, the software, but of course I cannot stand big issues, bugs, if it is actually the software. PC is on a 1000 megabit fiber. I want that in my life too, Daniel. I have 100 up and down. At least I have an excellent connection according to YouTube Studio. So there's that. But, yep, so the audio... Can you still hear the audio here? When I play? I just want to do like final wrap up of the test stream. And it might not have been the most inspiring creative stream, but you guys, I really, really appreciate you being here, chatting and hanging out with me and trying to solve all these issues that came up, sadly. The one big issue was the freezing stuff, but other than that, for those of you who have been here the entire stream, in case anyone has been, perhaps most of you dropped out, I don't blame you, but in case you were here a long time, except for that freezing moment halfway through the stream at the 30-40 minute mark, has everything worked well on your end? Issues with audio, video, anything, the streaming, the latency, anything at all, please write it in the comments so I can try to solve it for next time and improve for each stream. And hopefully, of course, do something more interesting than just trying and testing the technical stuff. But I really appreciate it. Keith, you said yes to that. I'm glad to hear it. Anyone else? Anyone with any issues, or if you had no issues and everything worked great except for that freezing part, write something like that in the comments so I know. And I can still switch around, I hope, so you can see me on the full video camera, the full screen without me, the picture with me, the screen with picture-in-picture. Okay, there. Yeah. Okay, so no one reported any issues. Finally, I want to thank you again for being here. Next time, I hope we can actually do some stuff in Logic. I will start work. Oh, so I can tease this. Next stream, I will actually start work on my new master template, and depending on time, I might do another stream where I work on a new instrument library. For those of you who use Logic, I can show you. The instrument library is this. If you bring out the library up here, user patches, you can create your own. I have a video on YouTube on how to do that, but what I want to do is organize everything. I started to just make the empty folders here. I just added Omnisphere, an empty instance of Omnisphere, so you can, see the folder itself. But I want to add things in there to make a complete instrument library, so I can just, add something like this. Click here, and it loads that instrument. Okay, in the UK. Glad to hear it. Look forward to what you do for next live stream, it seems, as far as audio levels and pictures. Oh, everything seemed fine. I need to sort out that freezing thing. Hopefully, it was something like momentarily. But I will reach out to their support. Thanks very much. Best wishes from UK. Another one from England. British people like Jeff can I say British people still? Is that a thing? I hope I'm not offending anyone. I just call the entire UK Britain, but perhaps I'm wrong. David, just remember you were saying something about sample modeling strings. Yeah, sample modeling strings came out with a 2.01 or 2.1 update with some really nice improvements from what I read. I will install that and test it on a stream as well. So, of course, there will be more interesting stuff. But for now, just want to thank you again for being here and bearing with me while I test this new setup. And hopefully we can get things sorted and do something more fun next time. Okay, so that's it for this stream. I hope I see you guys soon again. Take care and have a nice day, evening, night, or whatever. See you next time.